So Denis Villeneuve's next Dune movie is officially going to be called Dune: Part 3. I tweeted yesterday that I thought it was looking more likely that they were going to call it Dune Part 3. And this is based off of the recent castings with the twins being aged up. And it seems like there's some rumblings about some elements of Children of Dune being included in Dune Messiah. So I think they called it Dune Part 3 for marketing reasons. It'll be easier for the general audience to understand that this is just the next one, and that they might be including elements outside of the book Dune Messiah. So to avoid confusion of people expecting just the story of Dune Messiah being told, I think this is just going to complete Denis Villeneuve's Dune story, and it's going to include maybe a fusion of Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, and maybe some original sort of ideas that he's going to bring to the table. I was originally this morning going to record a video about the IMAX reports. People were posting all these discussing film updates. Accounts were tweeting that Dune Messiah is going to be shot entirely on IMAX, which I was going to make a post about how that was sort of like misinformation and that we don't know for sure that Messiah was going to be shot on IMAX film, and everybody was reporting that it was going to be shot on film, which we still don't know 100%. But this Variety article did confirm that it will not be entirely shot on IMAX cameras. There was that clip that was going around of the IMAX CEO on CNBC talking about how Dune Part 2, 20% of the sales of those tickets were in IMAX, and so they were very excited about the IMAX format. And he just sort of excitedly said that Dune Part 3 was going to be shot on IMAX cameras, which doesn't necessarily mean IMAX 70 millimeter or 65 millimeter film, but all of these Twitter accounts and sources just started going crazy with it and saying that Dune Messiah was being shot on IMAX film cameras, which it apparently is not. Filming for Dune Part 3 is supposedly underway, although we don't have any official confirmation yet. It looks like filming is underway. Zendaya was spotted in Budapest, and other stars were spotted in surrounding areas. It seems like all signs point to it having begun filming. And I'm really interested in this because Denis has been talking since he made Dune Part 1 and Part 2, and during interviews, he's been very adamant that Dune Part 1 and 2 were like its own thing. He's not doing like a trilogy. He wanted to tell the story of Dune in a two-part series, and now he's going to tell like a next story, a different story. I also see a lot of people talking about how Dune Messiah is like it wouldn't make sense for it to be shot on IMAX. It's not as big or as epic, and I feel like I disagree with that in a lot of ways. Dune Messiah does, in some ways, is bigger. Paul's throne has been upgraded. Like the jihad has become like it's underway, and there's a lot of opportunities for like these giant cinematic set pieces of them going to other planets, cleansing those planets. Paul's throne room is going to be epic, hopefully. And there are a lot of like big moments, including if you have read the book, you'll know what the word stone burner means. There are some huge moments that are going to be available to Denis. And I don't like that sort of like the narrative out there is that Dune Messiah is like this smaller story. It is a little bit more dialogue focused. It's political, it's conspiracy, it's intrigue, and it's just groups of people sort of figuring out how to handle this new emperor in Paul. But there are some huge moments and some really crazy opportunities for like insane cinematography, production design, and just grand scale Dune that we have grown to know and love. So yeah, it's not going to be shot completely. Those reports of Dune Messiah being, the second movie ever to be completely shot on IMAX film is just wrong. Christopher Nolan is still filming The Odyssey, and I believe he has all of or most of the IMAX film cameras that are in the world, and it just wouldn't be possible for these movies to be filming at the same time. But Dune Part 3 is going to be shot with IMAX cameras and IMAX certified cameras. So it will be available in IMAX theaters. You'll be able to go see it in IMAX theaters. But those reports about this being the second movie ever to be filmed on IMAX is just wrong. But it's crazy to know that we have an official title as of 20 minutes ago when I'm recording this. Variety put out the article. I'm curious to know what you think of the Dune Part 3 official title. Me personally, I think I was really excited for Dune Messiah. That book is really special to me. I've read it a couple times. And I love just that feeling that I get when I read Dune Messiah, and it's the story of like Paul as the Messiah or not a Messiah. But it does make sense that it'll be titled Dune Part 3. It's just gonna it's a clear message that this is Denis' third and final Dune film. And the fact that they might be going outside of the scope of Dune Messiah, it makes sense to not call it Messiah, as that might just be confusing for people if they age up the twins, which we know they have done. It's just a lot clearer.